political terms, the most critical moment of the entire Mark Sanford incriminating email-induced press conference today happened right after it ended. Listen closely here to this tape. Listen closely to what's said as soon as Governor Sanford is done talking.
Your reaction to those in your party and your lieutenant governor that call this irresponsible and are disappointed in your decision to do this?
At this point, it would be obvious that they and others would be disappointed, and that I've disappointed them and others.
Why did you choose? Will you resign as governor? Joel, is the governor going to resign? Thank you.
Joel, is the governor going to resign? Good question. Personal failings made public induce shame and embarrassment, of course. They invite ridicule. They can render someone, at least for a time, politically impotent, forgive the phrase. But they don't always end careers. Congress, for example, would be rather more thinly populated if everyone who'd ever been caught waka chicka beyond the bounds of wedlock had been immediately retired from public life. So Governor Sanford's political future depends not just on whether or not he had an affair, but on whether or not his political capital, his value as a politician, has been built up on a foundation of attacking other people for doing what he just did. Is he a hypocrite? Has he built his political career on saying he'd never do anything like this and on condemning people who do? Moral superiority isn't a prerequisite for public service, but it is a prerequisite for those public servants who publicly claim that they are morally superior. Governor Sanford's record on claims of moral superiority, after about 2:30 p.m. Eastern today, started reading like a hypocrisy rap sheet. In late 1998, then Congressman Mark Sanford was preparing to vote to impeach President Clinton. His analysis at the time, quote, "I think it would be much better for the country and for Clinton personally to resign. I come from the business side. If you had a chairman or president in the business world facing these allegations, he'd be gone." The allegations against President Clinton, you may recall, were that he had had an affair and lied about it, though not in Argentina. Meanwhile, Republicans in 1998 had chosen as Speaker of the House Louisiana Congressman Bob Livingston, who then admitted to an extramarital affair. Congressman Sanford also gave Congressman Livingston a shove out the Speaker's door when he told CNN at the time, quote, "The bottom line is he still lied. He lied under a different oath, and that is the oath to his wife." We've also unearthed a Mark Sanford campaign ad from 2002. The quality of this recording is less than ideal, but you will get the picture, as it were.
Jenny and I try our best to teach our 4 little boys Christian values, character, and honesty. You'd like to think that those values apply to government too, and that starts with keeping your word. When I ran for Congress, I said I'd support term limits, never take a dime from special interests, and not waste the taxpayers' money. I kept those promises. South Carolina needs a return to real, honest leadership in the governor's office.
And that starts with keeping your word. You know, it wasn't just prostitutes that sank Eliot Spitzer's career. It was the combination of the gung-ho Law and Order profile plus the prostitutes. It wasn't just a wide stance in a men's room that sank Larry Craig's career. It was the wide stance plus the anti-gay, holier-than-thou traditional values public record. And for Senator John Ensign now, even before you get to the ethical issues of his mistress and her family all being on and off the Ensign and Republican Party payroll, it is likely to be his demands that other people resign because of their sexual affairs that will sink Senator Ensign for his sexual affairs. It's do as I say, not as I do, and it really, really never works. Joining us now is Mark McKinnon, former media advisor to President George W. Bush. He's now a contributor to the Daily Beast, and today he called on Governor Sanford to resign. Mark, we've got to stop meeting like this.
Well, to quote you and Astro, ruh-roh,
yes.
Weren't we just talking about this last week?
Are you starting to worry that everybody who you put on your top 10 Republican prospects list is going to get picked off?
Well, the way it's going, the only guy left is going to be the Mormon.
Well,
I'm starting to feel like a guest on the Dr. Ruth show.
I don't know. Huckabee seems like maybe, I don't know.
Well,
why do you think that Mark Sanford should step down as governor? Is it just the affair? Is it lying about the affair? Or is it hypocrisy?
Well, it's always hypocrisy that's the real sin in these things. And I hadn't seen the political commercial that you just showed, but that's absolutely devastating. I think he should resign because he's lost all credibility to govern. I think he needs to resign because he needs to go pay attention to his family. But now that I've seen that ad, I mean that's the strongest evidence I've seen yet that he should be out of that office tomorrow. Now, let me also add that I'm the genius yesterday that said, gee, wouldn't it be refreshing that a governor took a walk in the woods on the Appalachian Trail? So, I actually thought that maybe he was out there hiking around somewhere. But unfortunately, the Republican Party's going south all the way to South America.
Well, I mean, so far Governor Sanford has not resigned. Senator Ensign has not resigned. Senator Vitter never resigned. Senator Craig never resigned. He just ended up leaving at the end of his term. Do you think that the Republican Party does itself some damage every day it lets these guys stay on? I mean, Sanford himself said when he was in the House that when a Republican does something like this, he said, we ought to ask questions rather than circle the wagons for one of our tribe. Is it becoming a party problem?
Well, I think it is, and I think we shouldn't have to remind these guys of their firmly held convictions. And these were strong voices who were out there saying, in Senator Ensign's case, he said if he ever found himself in a similar situation to Larry Craig, that he hoped he would do the right thing and resign. So it's not just me. I'm just reminding him of what he said that he would do if he found himself in these circumstances. So, we should hold people to a higher level of accountability in public office. It's eroding our confidence miserably in our public servants, and they do themselves good and they do a country a favor if they just step down.
And beyond what the right thing is to do, both for themselves and the country and their party, I got to ask you, just because you're a very highly acclaimed media guy, how did the governor do at the press conference?
I thought it was a disaster. I mean, I've seen a lot of crisis press conferences. This is in the Hall of Fame of absolute meltdowns, and it goes to your question about, is the guy really all there right now? I mean, because he seems like a guy who's really deeply troubled.
Mark McKinnon, former media advisor for President George W. Bush, contributor to thedailybeast.com, and always a very welcome guest. Thanks for your time tonight, Mark.
Carry on, Rachel. Thanks.